first, the theme reflections was just an aesthetic to me. The imagery of reflecting light, brightness, purity, and fluffy clouds was just a simplistic way to showcase our designer's work. But now I think it's different. Since classes have gone online and we've had to adapt our show drastically, I've done some reflecting and came up with this. Reflections doesn't have to be the reflection of light. It can be the period of time of thinking something over. It can be something that arises from something else.
I think while the theme reflections originally referred to the decor and aesthetic revolving around mirrors, it's really transformed as we've taken the show digital into the idea of reflecting on ourselves and the impact that we can have on other people.
Our show is meant to be a reflection of hard work and dedication of all who are involved. A reflection for the seniors of their time at UNI and the aesthetic that our class had drawn together to create a beautiful and simplistic space for the designer's creations to be displayed.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Lillian, the Executive Director of this year's show. Due to the current global pandemic, our leadership team decided to create an innovative way to still showcase student talent. Through this virtual fashion show, you'll be able to hear from all of our designers, learn about their design process, as well as see some of their finished garments. We are so excited to share all the hard work our students have put in even during this unprecedented time. Without further ado, I present Catwalk 28.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Most, and I'm a senior at the University of Northern Iowa in the Textiles and Apparel program. I have been sewing since I was very young, and I've always kind of known that I wanted to be a fashion designer. Coming to UNI was a really good choice for me because their program is very diverse, and we learn all of the different aspects of the industry. For the collections I design and make, I'm very inspired by haute couture. So I like to incorporate a lot of detailed work such as lace appliques, Swarovski crystals, and hand beading. So you'll see a lot of that in the garments that I've made for this show, so enjoy. This dress was inspired by one of my favorite designers, Christian Siriano. I took over 80 yards of tulle to create the ruffles and then over 1,000 Swarovski crystals to create an illusion top to complete the look. So this dress I made for a client who I'm making a prom dress for, but it can be worn for a variety of different occasions like prom or as bridesmaids dresses for a wedding or even a mother of the bride dress. It's an A-line dress with a chiffon skirt, very light and good for spring, and it has lace applique. My client was really inspired by some designs she'd seen in the current prom trends, so I wanted to recreate and incorporate that into a dress just for her. This is the first dress in my bridal collection. It's a mermaid style gown with a deep V and long sleeves. I chose this lace because it's very delicate and it has a romantic feel, and it kind of gives off that vintage look. This is the second dress in my bridal collection. I got some inspiration from the 2020 bridal trends with the puff sleeve and the cuff, as well as mixing textures with the lace applique combined with the sequins. This is a fit and flare look with a high split, good for an evening wedding in the winter. This is the third garment in my bridal collection. It's a two-piece outfit with wide-legged pants, 3D lace, and a bralette top. This could be worn for the reception or a beach wedding. This is the final garment in my bridal collection. It's a bridal suit featuring flared pants with a long sleeve crop top. I also incorporated some shoulder pads and a cape to go instead of a veil.
Hi, I'm Melina and I'm a junior at UNI in Textiles and Apparel. I am very passionate about storytelling and accessibility in fashion. I think my favorite part of fashion and styling is the opportunity to affect people just by entering a space. My work this semester is very playful and feminine, and I had a lot of fun experimenting with different design methods and different mediums. I hope you enjoy. This design is inspired by an athletic skirt that I thrifted. I love the juxtaposition of the playful print with the utilitarian structure. I wanted to incorporate some modern edge to it by adding a nylon strap belt and parachute buckle. I'm a big proponent for function in women's clothing, so I designed it with extra large pockets. To reduce waste, I made a matching scrunchie from the leftover scraps. I had so much fun making this project. This dress is actually made entirely out of non-traditional materials. The base is packing tape and then custom cut Ziplocs. And I actually stuffed them with fur from my mom's soft-coated Wheaten Terrier, which she grooms at home. Down here at the bottom, I did blend it with some different colors and textures of yarn, just to give kind of a nice ombre effect. But I'm so happy with the way that the shape turned out. It's just really big, really playful. For this look, I wanted to make a pair of really great dress trousers. These are made of a stretch cotton with a cream-colored lining for contrast. I incorporated a super high waist, volume in the hips, and a big sash belt. Sheer puff sleeves are big for spring, and I actually made them out of a curtain that I thrifted. This is a 1950s cocktail dress that I thrifted and then upcycled through the lens of the COVID-19 pandemic. So this material is called Dacron, which doesn't require a lot of ironing. So it was originally marketed to American housewives as a great emancipator of time. I thought that was really interesting in contrast to the abundance of time that non-essential workers and laid off workers have right now. I also created this mask out of my extra scraps to show that we can use really small efforts to contribute to the common good. So small things like reducing materials as well as social distancing and wearing masks can help. I also wanted to keep everything really light and feminine and playful to show that we have to remain positive and have to keep our spirits light right now.
My name's Lillian and I'm super excited to be a part of the Textile and Apparel program here at the University of Northern Iowa. When I first came in, I didn't have a lot of experience sewing or with design construction, so I was really able to develop my skills and put together a whole entire collection I'm really proud of. What this design process looks like for me is I start with inspiration from high-end or couture fashion shows that I can bring into my own line. So I love following Oscar de la Renta, Ralph Lauren. They have these really great formal pieces that they're able to bring and show to their audience, and so I wanted to do the same in my collection. So that's why I would describe my design style as feminine, soft, chic, and then also with a lot of modest touches. So this design was inspired by feminine details. It's a salmon color, as well as a formal evening look. It has a high neck, spaghetti straps, a full back, and as well as a slit for a little fun. One really cool thing about this design is this print and pattern on this top I actually designed on the computer and then printed through our fabric printer that we have at Latham. So that was a super awesome, unique detail about this design. Just in general, it has another modest touch, the high neck, as well as a sash in the back, and a fun ruffle on the top. And then that's paired with a wide leg trouser with pocket and pleating detail. For this design, I'm still bringing in those modest influences with the high neck. Also, it includes a slit, it hits at the natural waist, it has a really fun, feminine ruffled sleeve, as well as a side dart detail. For this design, I went with a more boxy silhouette to bring in that modern touch. I also was inspired actually by school uniforms with this collar that I really wanted to kind of bring into this dress as a unique element. And then I also love the kind of light, fun print that it has on it, making it great for summer or spring events.
Hi there, I am Avery and I'm a sophomore in the TAP program. Before you and I knew the basics of sewing and construction, but I have learned how to further develop my skills and how to implement them into my collection. I draw a lot of inspiration from modern ready-to-wear and reclaimed vintage. I would describe my style as feminine and timeless. This year I have loved learning the meaning behind dress and how these ideas are expressed through the physicality of the garment.
For this design, I went for an oversized silhouette and a dark pattern to give it a grunge vibe. This dress has a collar and a full button closure. My favorite part about this piece is the gathered waist and the tortoiseshell buttons. This was a vintage remake of a 1975 set. I sewed the old top into this cropped tank and shortened the pant rise for a better fit. I was first drawn to its sky blue color. My favorite detail is the exaggerated wide leg. This dress was inspired by modern ready-to-wear. I loved learning how to smock and how to create this square neckline. This dress has full-length puff sleeves and a side slit. It is slim-fitting in the bodice with a relaxed midi skirt.
I'm Cassie Hendricks, a junior at the University of Northern Iowa, and I'm in the Textiles and Apparel program. Prior to the program, I didn't have a lot of experience with design or construction, but throughout the process, I really found a passion for it. Where I find a lot of my inspiration is from New York Fashion Week and looking at what are going to be some of the current trends. So I try to incorporate a lot of that into my designs. You will see patterns, colors, and different design elements in my collection. This design is a two-piece matching set, and what I love about a set is that it really makes a complete outfit on its own. So on the top, I decided to do puff sleeves because that is a trend that I'm obsessed with right now. It really adds a fun flair to any outfit. And then I also paired it with flare pants on the bottom, and I decided to do this in a bright green color because I really wanted to make a nice springtime look. This design is definitely a statement piece. I decided to just pair it with a nice black top and black jean, and it really elevates the entire look. Where I got my inspiration for this design is I looked to Fashion Week and saw that there were a lot of animal print trends going on. So we started with cheetah print, and then I saw a lot of zebra. So I definitely knew I wanted to incorporate that into my collection. And my favorite part about this jacket is definitely the collar. I love how it stands up and away from the neck and face. As a student designer, we were challenged to come up with a new textiles. So for this design, it's actually made out of a non-traditional material. So the base is a tarp, and then all these loops are VHS tape. I was really excited to do this one and decided I wanted to do something really fun, really shimmery. And so this is a 1920s modernized style look. And I just did, again, another two-piece set similar to my other designs, and I love the way it turned out.
I'm inspired a lot by fashion icons and movements of the past. So the anti-war hippie movement, women's liberation, and icons like Jacqueline Kennedy and Audrey Hepburn. I like the idea of putting a contemporary twist on a classic silhouette. I've developed so much this semester as a designer in terms of my abilities to take an idea and be able to translate it and put it into an actual design. This design I originally made as a jacket, but I found this really cool brocade fabric and I made a sash out of it so it can be worn as a dress. I really like the simple lines and the edge that the velvet gives it. This design was inspired by the 60s and 70s and the brand Reformation. I made a collared kimono sleeve top out of satin and paired that with some flared plaid bottoms. For this design, I took the silhouette from the past and used contemporary fabrics to bring the designs together. I was inspired by the 60s flower child for this design, and I chose to make the top out of a linen with flutter sleeves to give it a light feeling, and paired that with a dark suede A-line mini skirt for contrast and contemporary design. And then I added some really cool tapestry inspired buttons on the side.
I'm Katie Maloney, and I'm a junior within the Textiles and Apparel program at UNI. For my two designs, I wanted to make them fun and feminine, easy to dress up and dress down. The unique thing about this design is I actually created it on a computer in Latham and was able to print it on our fabric printer. I chose to make this cherry design because I wanted to make a fun summery dress, and I feel like the cherries really help envision that. For this design, I chose to use a more elegant fabric with a simple white color to be able to dress up and dress down. I designed it with princess seams on the top and then a flared short bottom.
Hi, my name is Melina Silva, and one of the biggest inspirations behind my brand that I designed for the fashion show was inclusivity. I believe that a wide range of sizes should be represented on the UNI fashion show stage. So my brand is designed for plus size women. I am passionate about this because I feel everyone deserves to be comfortable in their own body. One of my favorite pieces from the collection is this big flowy jumpsuit that is in a purple floral print that I designed in the UNI labs. So a big part in my design inspiration is illustrations, and when I have a thought in my head, just getting it down on paper. Here was the first initial illustration for the romper that was made out of this purple floral print, and then just all the other ideas I wanted to incorporate with the different types of florals and flared sides, just getting my illustrations down on paper. Here we had some fringe detail on the neck yoke cut line of this. And then for my second project, I just did a straight black and white illustration to show the kind of different details I wanted to capture, whether that being the sequins in the top or the fringe along the side of the skirt, and then the bow, and then the really big bell sleeves.
Hi, my name is Cassidy Nolte, and I'm a senior in the Textiles and Apparel program at the University of Northern Iowa. Unfortunately, due to some of the current circumstances, I was unable to finish my design and construction project, but I wanted to take a little bit of time today and talk to you about my design process. To start out, I usually create some type of mood or vision board, and as you can see here, I'm in the midst of creating this one. This one is for the upcoming summer, and I'm going for a vintage summer vibe. For past mood boards, I've turned to different magazines or online articles for quotes, serving as a reference point for my creativity and innovation. It's a really great place for me to come back to if I'm ever in a creative rut, and definitely inspires me to keep working hard on all of my projects. Next in the process, I usually turn to flat pattern to actually start to construct the garment. This is actually a sleeve pattern piece. These take a really long time to make, but it's just my preferred method of how to do this. After having this pattern piece made and all of the rest for the garment, I lay them out on the fabric and actually begin to cut to then construct the garment. Before actually constructing, I usually do a bit of research on the fabric and different garment that I want to actually create for my target audience. The fabric can really make or break a piece and is so important in the design process. I usually turn to the runway shows or different websites to find what garments are trending right now in the fashion industry, and that kind of helps me dictate who I'm designing for and what I want to bring that customer. Next, I usually then research how to actually construct the garment. It's a lot different than making patterns when you sit down at the sewing machine and you're putting a zipper in or different things like that. I enjoy watching YouTube videos on other people doing it or researching in different textbooks because it helps me visualize what I'm about to do to my own garment. Sitting down at the sewing machine and actually constructing it is one of my favorite parts. I am an avid sewer and I really enjoy it. And to finish it off, I actually get to stylize the piece, which kind of brings in the end of my design process, which is really exciting when I can pick the perfect pair of shoes or the perfect hat and other accessories to go with the garment. One of my favorite parts about the Textiles and Apparel program at UNI is our fabric printer in the studio. So what we actually get to do is design an original print on the Adobe Suite or in Kaleido and watch that be printed on a fabric printer in front of us. So for this design, I pulled from the trendy cheetah print that's kind of happening in the fashion world right now in polka dots, which is a staple of mine in clothing. I thought that this fabric would be great for the working woman to wear to work and feel empowered and sexy, but also be taken seriously. I plan to make this in a matching set of trousers and a puff sleeve blouse.
Hi, my name is Rachel Funkhauser. My collection was inspired by geometric art as well as color blocking art, and I created my collection for the brand Anthropology. My favorite piece was the long bomber coat because I personally love wearing bomber jackets, as well as getting the chance to create my own print in the lab, which is one of my favorite things about UNI and the TAP program are the different things that we're able to do, from learning textile science to being able to construct garments, as well as creating our own fabric prints and even computer-aided design.
With this look, I really wanted to make something that you could easily wear to work and then also wear out when you're hanging out with friends. My favorite part about the garment is the use of chiffon in the raglan sleeves of the blouse as well as in the godets of the pants. It just adds a really fun flair to it, and the color blocking in the blouse just keeps that fun, playful vibe going.
A fun thing about this garment is that the pants were made out of a dress from the 1970s. So this is one of my favorite outfits. As you can see, it's a bomber jacket that has been made ankle length. One of the reasons I chose to do this silhouette is because I enjoy wearing bomber jackets myself. And another part I like about it is the fabric print, because I was able to design my own print using our printer that we have in the lab.
My name is Lexi Redlinger, and I have really enjoyed being a part of the Textiles and Apparel program at the University of Northern Iowa. It has taught me a lot of sewing skills, which has helped me create a collection that I'm really excited about. My design process starts with inspiration. I really like collections that have a balance between simple yet fun looks, just because it gives people more options. So I like looking at fast fashion brands like Zara, H&M, and Topshop just because they do have that good balance, and that is something that I tried making really noticeable in my own collection. For this outfit, I was going for more of a fun look. This halter top ties around the neck, has an open back, a deep V cut, and front dart details. I love how this green color really pops and how the poly satin material makes it look a lot classier.
I paired this top with these really fun bell bottoms. They're high-waisted and have front and back dart details. My favorite things about these pants are how exaggerated they are at the bottom and the sparkly fabric. For this dress, I was going for more of a simple look. It has a deep V, a gathered empire waist, and spaghetti straps to give it more of a summer spring feel, along with this simple floral print. Something really cool about this print is that I designed it on the computer and printed it off in our fabric printer at Milena.
My name is Gina Montgomery, and for Catwalk 28, I really wanted to create a piece that would represent me as a designer. And first semester, I had the privilege of taking fashion trend analysis, and there I learned that new and upcoming trends are going to be centered around minimalism and simplicity. I really wanted to take advantage of that and bring those aspects into life through the pieces that I created. I paired this look with a black belt with a silver buckle to cinch at the waist and to show off the model's figure a little bit more. I think having options as to how you want to style your piece lets you put in your own little uniqueness, and that's why you can really pair this outfit with any color of accessories. So you could use like a gold belt, a full-on silver belt, or just like a colored belt to add a pop of color.
Hello, my name is Annette Lynch. I'm the director of the School of Applied Human Sciences. I also teach in the Textiles and Apparel program at the University of Northern Iowa. This is the 28th annual runway show that I have been able to come on stage after the show, congratulate the students, and also thank the audience so much for being a part of this show. This was a unique year. Right before spring break, I came in to talk to the students that were finishing up their designs in the Textiles and Apparel lab, and I urged them to think about what they would do if we ended up in online classes for the rest of the year. What would we do with our runway show? I suggested at that point the idea of a digital runway show. I asked them to think about it, imagine what it would be like. I'm very, very, very proud to say they not only imagined it, they did it. And it's been a very strong show for them. It's been a way that they can showcase their creative work in a time period when it's difficult to do that. They are also responding to national trends and international trends where the whole fashion industry has had to move to digital shows. So this is very exciting for them. I think it builds their professional credentials as they enter the industry. And I'm very, very happy that you were able to witness this show tonight. Special thanks to Lillian Teeter, the director, the student director of the show this year. She did an amazing job energizing and helping the students put into focus this show. I would also like to thank Isaac Hackman, who helped put together the actual video for the show. And finally, I would really like to thank the audience for being here tonight, for supporting these students, and for spreading the word. The advantage of this digital show is that you can share it with your family, share it with your friends, share it with people in your community. So thank you very much, and congratulations to everybody.
This concludes Catwalk 28. Thank you so much for watching our virtual show. Please share this video so as many people as possible can see our students' talent. Thank you to all our amazing faculty who continue to push us forward regardless of the circumstances. Additionally, I would like to thank the fashion promotion class, passionate student designers, and Isaac Hackman, who edited this all into an amazing final product for us to view. Thanks again for watching, and we hope to see you at next year's show.